Hi guys, welcome. So you guys are here tuning into Healing Live Q&A with Steph. So guys, I am super excited because this week, we're going to dive into what is the deal with intermittent fasting and hormones. I feel this is a really important discussion, especially since I've been being asked in my fam inner circle this month, and I want to dive into this. I thought it would be a great idea to go into this. Alright guys, so if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Stephanie Rodriguez. I am a mother of 6 children from 17 to almost 3, and I've been working with women professionally for 10 years. Regardless of my dyslexia, I've been able to complete many certifications, which allows me to provide a full spectrum doula support, a women's health coaching support, and a holistic emotional healing. Alright guys, so let's dive into this amazing topic that I feel it's important. So this is for you if you have ever asked yourself questions like, can I do this type of intermittent fasting even though I have hormonal issues? And have you ever wondered if why is intermittent fasting not working for you, as have other women or even men? And lastly, have you ever wondered if doing intermittent fasting is safe for you as a woman? And so these are really amazing questions that I feel that I'm getting asked constantly. So this is why I'm doing a live here and my Healing Live Q&A for all my women who are in my feminine inner circle. This is for you guys and for anyone who finds this very helpful. Okay guys, so the answer is intermittent fasting, safe to do it when you're hormonal, and plus if you're a woman. And honestly, it truly depends. Why it depends? Because women are different. Okay, we are unique. We need different type of care and attention. And so that requires, depending on, are you having PCOS? Do you have thyroid? Are you adrenal fatigue? We need to balance that and know how to navigate those things because, that's going to help you. Now, are you already more intensely on being stressed? And this is where stress and estrogen really play a huge role in our hormones, because normally when you tend not to eat, you're going to release cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone, and that is going to affect you how you feel. And if you're adding that into not eating, it could go, whompers, right? It'll go all whompers on you. And so that is really important. It really truly depends, especially if you're adrenal, if you're very more susceptible to be more in stress than other women. And why all this is so important to understand. And say, like, you're like, okay, well, I don't have any hormones, I think they're all good and dandy, now I'm a woman, can I still do intermittent fasting? And again, it truly depends, like always, because us women have been born and gifted with a uterus and ovaries, and that changes the whole dynamics versus a male. And our body is truly designed to know how to navigate, especially to handle, hormones. And so hormones is not only for reproductive and fertility, because there's times where, like, well, that could, make your fertility or menstrual go out of whack. And women might be saying, well, I'm not interested in having a baby any soon, and that makes totally sense. Sorry guys, I truly thought I put this in silence. There you go. Got a new phone and now I'm figuring it out. Alright guys, and so many of you guys might not be ready to have a baby, but it doesn't mean that hormones and understanding how our fertility cycle works is not going to affect your menstruation. I have experienced this, and I have a lot of women in my inner circle that have experienced this as well, where they're like, I did start losing some weight. However, I noticed that my period was less heavier or way more lighter than usual. And then it got to a point where they lost their period. And and this is where we talk into my course, where we talk about why there's reasons why you don't have a period. And this is where intermittent fasting can affect your menstruation. And menstruation is super duper important if you want to have a healthy life and a healthy body. Menstruation is going to tell you, and if you know how to read your menstruation, it's going to tell you things that's going on with your own body. And so, yeah, it truly depends on where you're at and where how are your fundamental building blocks within your health, like cellularly, how are you, energy, this is why we go and dive into many questions in my consultation, because we really try to understand where you're at and where you're coming from, to understand how solid are these foundation blocks. The same thing with a house, right? We cannot build a home unless the foundation and everything is set there, right? Like they pre-prep everything, where the sink is going to go and the electricity, because they have to have a good foundation when everything's set in their certain places, so that you can start building from there, right? Same thing goes with our body. We need to understand how we are in our foundational building blocks of health, right? And so I'm going to dive into 3 mistakes that most smart women do when they're going to start intermittent fasting. And one of them is, since our body is very unique, we might feel like, yeah, we could take it on, and we feel like we're superwomen at times, which we are super amazing and we're capable with many things. However, we just jump in all hardcore in there and do the intermittent fasting. And this is where having continuism, where there's even different types of fasting. People want to do 16-8, so 16 hours fasting, 8 hours window to eat, and they want to do it every single day. That is the biggest mistake someone could do, because you haven't prepared your body to start going into that transition. And this is where your menstruation could be tremendously affected, because intermittent fasting is going to be one of the disruptors of estrogen. Okay, and if you know what estrogen do, it helps and regulates and is connected to your metabolism, weight loss, mood, anxiety, stress, energy, your bone density, and your cognitive function. So when this is being disrupted without a smart plan and a smooth plan to regulate it, this is where you're going to affect many things. And when you disrupt one hormone, it's going to create this chaos of cascade of hormonal imbalancement. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is that, again, we want to go hardcore to do from 16, maybe 12, right? Sometimes 12 to 16, all the way to 20 hours of fasting. And there's some who want to just go 24 hours, and that's really difficult, even though you're drinking water. But I really recommend that everyone start with 10, and then gradually going to 12 to 13. And then from there, really depends. This is why in my guide that I'm going to give you guys for free, if you guys come and ask me, it's going to show you different calendars and different types of how to do it, and which is more gradually and more safer, especially because we're women and we have hormones to, consider. So definitely, especially 10 hours is really important, because it's going to help you to start and train your body that this is what you're trying to do, so you could actually get the benefits of intermittent fasting versus having it to harm you more, and then you have to take yourself out of this big hole that you accidentally dig yourself without knowing, right? So this is why it's super important. Number 3, and then when you are intermittent fasting, people are like, yeah, hardcore. Like, there was a time I was in a room with amazing, smart individuals, but this guy was all about, yes, hardcore, pain, 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 right? However, he's telling this woman, yeah, just do it and do it like this. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. Women are different. And it's not like bad. And, I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, you're feminist or anything. But however, when you are going to the extent of telling your body what to do and your body has to work extra because we have different type of organs than men, you could harm yourself more if you start doing crazy workouts when you're intermittent fasting, and especially when you are in your menstruation and you decide to fast. You don't want to be, when you're doing intermittent fasting, you don't want to be doing crazy intense workouts. And secondly, when you are in your menstruation, you definitely don't want to be doing intermittent fasting because your body is doing something that it's naturally designed to do, and it requires energy to do that process. And so your body needs you to supply it with energy versus you removing it, right? And eliminating it from nutrients. So guys, I really hope this is really helpful for you to understand what's the deal with intermittent fasting and hormones. And so, like I promised, I'm going to give you a full guide kit. And so what I'm giving here today, and if you want it, please message me or comment below, tag me. It's going to be a full intermittent fasting hormonal rescue kit. Right there, we're going to talk about calendars of different types of hormonal fasting that you could do that's going to give you the benefits versus like all the symptoms and making it worse. We're going to give you supplement protocol that is going to really help you to create those foundations that you need, those building blocks, and all the things of do's and not do's. I just talked about 3 main ones, so if you're just coming up, I will say to go watch it again. But again, this is like really important because to know all what to do and not the do's, like the whole full list. So guys, thank you very much and have a beautiful Friday. Bye.